Hi, everybody. Welcome to Mosaic Noon Talks, produced by Canadian Community Arts Initiative, presented by TD, generously sponsored by Canada Council, Ontario Arts Council. Laziz Shawarma, Greenwich Health Products are our sponsors. Factor has also supported us, and City of Mississauga is supporting us, and Heritage Canada. We want to recognize that we live on the lands of Native Anishinaabe, people of Credits, New Credits, and Mississauga. Megwitch. Today, I am with a wonderful artist, singer, who has one of the best records at performing at Mosaic Festival and most sought after, Zaib Bangash. Zaib, thank you so much for joining us today as we celebrate our 15th anniversary of Mosaic Festival. You were with the festival, you performed at the festival, and your performance is still remembered by so many people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's such an honor. And even as I was part of Mosaic, I knew that it was something so special right from the first minute that we got off from the airport. It has been one of the most memorable experiences of my career. And then, of course, the final day of the performance and the kind of community and response and just love that I experienced. It was wonderful. So it's lovely to relive that with you all today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to give a shout out to my friend Sharad Mohan, who's celebrating his birthday today. Yeah, because I realized that, this is a great opportunity for us to get in touch with, as not even to engage other people, but also to give shout outs. So if there is a special shout out, I'm going to tell you, and you can give those shout outs too. So so now how are you coping with the lockdown and everything that's going on around us today?
So, I mean, it's been a mixed bag, or I'd say, it's been kind of an evolution. I mean, initially, to be honest, it was a bit of a relief because the way our lives have been, set up, especially as creative people, I feel we find ourselves kind of engaging in activity outside of just creative work, because it's just the demand of the career. And so initially, while I had this idea of, uncertainty and concern, but I think it was overruled by this idea of relief, that nobody has any expectations of me now. Like, I don't have to do, social things. I don't have to do business things for a while. And that felt really good. But I mean, of course, as time went by and as the uncertainty became more and more kind of tangible and thickened. I think what really, it became a very reflective time for me. Interestingly, for the first 6 to 7 weeks, I didn't feel like doing anything music related. I wanted to go out for walks because where we were, you could actually, go for a short walk around your block or whatever. And I wanted to just sit outside on the patio, look outside, do nothing. I cooked. I tried to learn a language, and just kind of.
What language?
Arabic.
Arabic. How nice.
Yeah, I've always wanted to learn Arabic, but and it just so happened that someone who was nearby is a professor of Arabic and Farsi, so he was able to help me through some of the resources and all. So for me, it became really like it became this idea of self-reflection, and then I read Arundhati Roy's article on looking at this lockdown or this pandemic as a portal towards a different. I mean, one shouldn't there's an opportunity in it, in that we can actually think of how our lives are, and we can redefine them. Looking at how we deal with this uncertainty. So musically, I think I changed a lot in it. And then when I went back to my riyaz, and I felt like a different person, I realized that I just had to do what I wanted to do. And that was very liberating, just not having to worry so much about what works, what doesn't work, what gives you more viewership, what are the corporates looking for, what are the channels looking for, and so forth. So it was really, in that sense, liberating alongside with the concern and the uncertainty. So it's been a paradox.
I think lots of people did feel that, yes, there is a lockdown, there is certain, but also that gave them some freedoms, this amazing freedom of not being answerable to anybody, saying, oh, well, it's just like I have a flu, I'm down, I'm out for 7 days, I cannot come to the office, nothing. This is just a 3-month long shutdown that we are going through. But and this gave us a good opportunity to reassess things, understand, a lot of perspectives, which I think otherwise escape our attention.
Yeah.
For example, getting a hair dye has become a big process.
An event.
Yeah, I really liked it that on breakfast television, our absolutely immaculately done presenters came with the white roots and all that, and it
was
didn't
lovely.
matter. Yeah,
it was really lovely. And I think that over the past 5-6 years, there's been a lot of talk about big celebrities talking about how, the use of filters and the use of being hyper beautiful all the time, that, celebrities, I mean, at some level, they're angry at celebrities for doing that. But then at another level, there's also a lot of pressure on celebrities to be that person, to be that plastic. So I think for everyone around, it was just like, okay, we can just breathe again now. We can just be people.
Yeah, exactly. I see late night shows and, everybody has their kids around and things like that. And you realize that, the humanity of those artists for a change, outside of that thing. So it's good. It's interesting. We had it coming. All right. So that's great. And did you bake? So I know you learning language.
I learned how to cook for the first time in my life. And also because I got married recently. So, I was living with my husband because past 3 years I've been coming and going because my work is in Pakistan and part of it is in America. So there's been more travel, but this time around we spent a good amount of time together. So it was nice to also settle into that relationship. Mm-hmm. And of course, I became a little better at organizing things like cupboards and drawers and started cooking some desi food because, desi men like desi food.
My mistake. My phone is on. Anyways, so that's nice. I see so many men doing it, going into cooking and all those things, which, we never thought that they will step into that.
That's right. Even back home in Pakistan, you see them going at the rotis and all, which is kind of fun to see.
Oh gosh, we've got Lakshman Balani. Lakshman is a very big fan of the festival and a supporter of the festival, and love your singing, extremely melodious and soothing. And Arshad is there. I love Zaib. This is so exciting. Samina Talat is there. She comes. They're really nice people. I'm glad so many are there to appreciate and enjoy your talk. And so Mosaic experience, you spoke about it earlier, and we have a small clip which we would love to share with you. So, Rakshan, can we have that clip of Zaib performing at Mosaic Festival? What a lovely clip. Michael is on from Sandara, Michael Vanagard, and it was such a great experience. We had this collaboration with you guys and Benai Brith, and we shared you as our artists, and it was an amazing experience. Tell
Hello,
me,
Michael.
yeah. Listen, can we hear some lines from you for some song, because there's some special request coming in, and that person has to go in for a meeting, and I know she has a very important work nowadays. So a little song for her.
What kind of, is there any specific song they're requesting or?
Anything that you feel like you would like to share.
Okay. बादल में से चंद्रमा मुझे देख देख मुस्काए मुझसे मेरी चाल पूछने पवन चकोरे आए ये मौसम मिलने का है फूलों के खिलने का है आजा रे मोरे सैया आजा रे मोरे रसिया आजा 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 डाली डाली झूम झूम रसता बुलाए शबनम के मोती मेरे ऊपर लुटाए आजा रे आजा रे दिल में समा जा रे कई नाम कई रूप मेरे रोम रोम में जागे जग सारा मुझको बस अपना अपना लागे ये मौसम मिलने का है फूलों के खिलने का है आजा रे मोरे सैया आजा रे मोरे रसिया आजा आजा
वाह बहुत खूब भाई बहुत खूब हाउ लवली धड़ाधड़ रिक्वेस्ट्स आ रही हैं तुम्हारे लिए अरशद खान प्लीज सिंग द सॉन्ग फ्रॉम बाजी एंड सुपरस्टार and sing few lines from Kya Khayal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Should I sing it now? And also Michael is saying we want to come back to Mosaic.
Absolutely. This is our 15th anniversary year, and
we're back.
Yeah, and no, but we're planning to invite everybody that who has performed for Mosaic in the past. So we really wanted to, but of course the situation has come to this. But soon, once things get better, we will definitely have you guys. You guys are so talented.
Thank you. We had such a lovely time. We still talk about the fun times we had with you all.
Yeah.
So someone wants to hear from Superstar Bekarash. बेकरार इश्क में तैरते चल दिए ओ बेकरार इश्क में जाविदा हो गए ये राहें नहीं आसान रस्तों में है तूफान यूं तो दिल को लाख बताया समझाया बहलाया धमकाया ललचाया दिल तो दिल है पास ना आया कभी डूबे कभी संभले कभी उभरे कभी डोले कहता है क्या होले कोई लम्हा रुक जाए कोई दिल ना बन पाए अपनी ही बोलिए बोले इश्क में जाविदा हो गए हो गए.
Oh, how beautiful. कितना मुझे मजा आ रहा है तुमको सुनते हुए.
Thank you
आगे
so
तुम बिल्कुल
much.
बुलबुल एक. तो मुझे तुम ये बताओ कि मुझे पता है कि तुम गा रही थी, you were working, your Pashto is your mother tongue, और तो ये बाकी लैंग्वेज पर्शियन वगैरह के अंदर जो आपका गाने का इंटरेस्ट हुआ और उसके बाद कोक स्टूडियो, इट टर्न टू कोक स्टूडियो, योर कोलैबोरेशन विद हान्या, जिसके बारे में by the way, the other day I was talking to Benny Dayal and Benny was so sweet. वो कहते पाकिस्तान ने मुझे वो दो जो हैं ज़ैब और हानिया उसका बहुत अच्छा लगता है परफॉर्मेंस, और वो दोनों को मैं साइमन एंड गारफंकल कहता हूँ पाकिस्तान का. This is such a
It's
great
funny
compliment.
because Mikal calls us the same, but you know, Mikal being Mikal, he says it with a little bit of a twist, which I cannot share right now.
But honestly, and Benny immediately got hold of his ukulele and started singing your song. So I think that was great.
That was lovely. It was so nice to hear that, and I had such a lovely time watching that interview. Also, it was so special. What a great artist. So humbling.
अच्छा, तो मुझे बताओ, इंडिया में how was the experience of singing in India?
It was lovely. I mean, as you know, being in Pakistan, we all grow up with so much Bollywood music. We don't really think of it. I mean, I know that when I meet my Indian friends, they look at it as like, oh, you know our music, but actually for us, it feels like our music, you know, like it's that closely linked to how we grow up and our cultural language, you know, a pop language, because we're always up to date with whatever's come out. And, you know, I feel like Indian stars feel like our stars. We feel just as possessive about them. We feel just as upset about them. And it's the same thing with the song. So, you know, I grew up, but I think one thing that happened again is for me, it wasn't just Bollywood or Indian music for that matter that I grew up with. I also grew up with Afghan music. I also grew up with Turkish music in the same vein, you know, and a bunch of Irani music in the same vein, where because it was a part of my childhood and my upbringing, and it was something I heard at home, it never really felt alien. It didn't feel like I was doing something, you know, for other people it felt a little radical, but for me it was really quite organic. So that's how it happened.
So what's your process? How do you find a song which you think, you know, you want to do it? Do you write lyrics yourself? What kind of work do you do behind working with the song?
It you know, it differs. I mean, it's different each time. I think, and with different collaborations, it's different. Of course, I mean, sometimes there's the most straightforward way in which, like, you know, if you're asked to do a film song or if you're asked to do an OST, you're always given some kind of reference or some kind of frame for where the song should fit. So that then, you know, then you start thinking along those lines. With folk music, it's just listening to a lot of music and then whatever speaks to you, and then you keep like trying to work with whatever you have, and then say, you know, ideas come to you. But with like original stuff, it's usually I work with someone else. So like I worked with Hania, or I work with Michael, or then, you know, I worked with Zain Ali for some songs, and Saad Sultan I've done a lot of original work with. So I mean, that kind of you know, process is different because it's just, you know, some person has an idea, you develop it a little further, then you move forward. I used to write my own lyrics initially, but you know, as I started to get to know, I mean, I grew up with a lot of beautiful Urdu poetry, and I always had a little bit of a problem because I felt that my written expression was not really doing the language justice. And I think, you know, because there's so much depth and width in Urdu poetry that, you know, as accessible as our pop lyrics are, they don't really bring that out. So recently, especially with Michael and with Sandara, we've started doing, you know, taking works of well-known people like Ibn Insha or Faiz or Majaz Lakhnavi, and then we're making our modern kind of renditions of those works.
Who's your favorite lyric writer? Whose lyrics you think you can, who understands your voice and how it matches the lyrical?
I haven't worked with many lyricists, but I've worked with, and I think this is a time that I would also like to really. The song that I just sang, Bekara, was written by this really wonderful lyricist who recently passed away just a week back, Shakil Bhai. And so I worked a lot with him in the past 3 years, and Shakil Suhail was a wonderful person, wonderful lyricist, and he started off as a singer himself. So he understood that idea of like how something, even if it's like poetically, beher mein wo, ek to fit karna hota hai, but there's one thing that's like what the song is trying to say and what the melody is trying to do. So he understood that very well. This song, Bekara, was written by him. A bunch of my songs from Baji were written by him. And so many other songs that have yet to be released are written by him. So yeah, may his soul rest in peace. And I would name him as my favorite lyricist.
Oh, wonderful. Guneet Vadaria Bhatia, this is a relatively new bride. Tumhari tarah abhi abhi shaadi hui hai uski bhi. They're one of the most distinct voices of our time. Sumit is saying one of the most popular voices in India from Pakistan. And Shivali Ranjan, who's our chair as well. She's saying first year behind the scenes participation was 1914 when you came to perform for us. And Badr Shamim is there. Michael has now joined the conversation as well. So how did the collaboration with Michael come into existence?
So basically, I mean, we ended up in a strange way. We were connected. I mean, I was a fan of Michael's music. And didn't ever think I would ever meet him. But then through a friend, we were doing a concert, a last-minute concert at the Pakistani embassy in DC, and I needed some musicians. And Michael's name came up, and I couldn't believe it because when I was going to the meeting to discuss the concert, I was listening to Michael's music. So, of course, when I first met him, I was very starstruck, and I was very, I couldn't believe that I was actually going to be playing with this musician whose work I had been listening to day in and day out for more than a year. And then when we finally got up on stage, it was so interesting because he plays, klezmer. He's a big name in the klezmer world, also a big composer, and runs a couple of klezmer festivals also. And so when he got up on stage, and we were actually performing to a completely Pakistani audience, we were singing Persian and Afghan and Punjabi and Urdu songs, and he was bringing in klezmer music, and everyone was loving it. We were loving it, and the audience, the Pakistani audience, was giving him so much, the appreciation. Like every time he had his solo, they would go wah wah, like the way you do for. So I think we got off stage understanding that okay, there are certain things in this music that we haven't, we've never thought could be linked, but there's definitely some linkages happening, And we then got together with Michael's friends, well now our friends, Peter Shevsky and Ethel Rhyme, and they helped us write up a few grants. And we got the MAP grant in New York, and we ended up creating this band Sandara, and now it's like our 6th year. So
excellent. Yeah, Max ZT. I met Max ZT with you guys, and Max is such a talented artist as well. And he came back to Mosaic. He performed in other years as well. I think he performed with Benny Dayal as well on Mosaic stage. So that's it's really really a very international existence that you are living now as a musician. So have you sung anything in English? With
that's one thing I'm very, I don't know why, but even though I've grown up in an English medium school and with English and all that, but that's one language that I feel very scared about, like, yeah.
But I find that since that guy who did that, summer wine. I mean, if he can do it, anybody can do it. Thing. The
Sure,
guy
I
who
can do
did
something
that.
like that. I
Yeah.
can do something like that.
Yeah. but so what's the next thing that you're planning to do once the lockdown is over? What is the plan?
So actually, the interesting thing is that the lockdown has not been a very has been a strangely productive time for artists. I think they've been doing things for themselves in their own way, and in their own time. And I think as a result, it's been a very interesting time for them. I mean, certainly, I think that there's a lot of collaboration. Um, there's a lot of collaborations that are happening, and I think that I'm not sure exactly. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we've been thinking about doing for Sandara. So as soon as that happens, it's also like absence makes the heart go fonder. So I think we're all very like geared up to like get together and work as soon as we can, with Sandara, with my other collaborators. But also, I feel like I might do more stuff from home. I might do more production at home, and I think that it's kind of changed my overall outlook. So,
Any song that you think can describe the feeling that you're going through nowadays?
yeah.
Let's hear a few lines.
Okay.
Thank you.
I've been listening a lot to Tufail Niazi Saab, so I'd like to sing a few
Wow.
songs.
What a fabulous talent he was.
रांझण ढूंढण मैं चली मैनू रांझा मिलिया ना रब मिलिया रांझा ना मिलिया रब राझे वरगाना नहीं मैं जाना ओ मैं नहीं जाना वे मैं नहीं जाना खेड़िया दे नाल ओ मैं नहीं जाना खेड़िया दे नाल दिल विच राझे दा ख्याल नहीं मैं जाना खेड़िया दे नाल राझा मेरा राझा मेरा सब तो सोना राझा मेरा रज के सोना ओ जी हीर सियाल नहीं मैं जाना खिड़िया दे नाल ओ मैं नहीं जाना खिड़िया दे नाल
अब इस पे तो मैं तुम्हारे से सदके करूंगी. This is so beautiful. I love this song. और किस खूबी से गाया था तुफैल साहब ने, शौकत ने भी गाया. It's beautiful, beautiful. मैंने कभी ये औरत से नहीं सुना था. मैंने हमेशा आदमियों की आवाज में ये सुना था. So thank you. इतनी सारी requests आ गई. Jamil Zahoor is here from California. Nurjahan Clark is there. How lovely. These are your friends and my friends as well. And so there are a few more requests which I'm going to ask you along the way. You are so kind enough. You are one of my most generous artists. So मैं खोल के तुमसे requests कर सकती हूँ. I'm so sure of your talent, mashallah. अच्छा, tell me, आजकल shows वगैरह कौन से देख रही हो? You know.
Shows मैं देख रही हूँ. I'm watching a bunch of these shows जो कि my husband is making me watch. एक तो मैं The Wire देख रही हूँ.
That song, Hemant Pawar is here with us as well. And the song that Sumit Ahuja is requesting, because Sumit की request मैं रद्द नहीं कर सकती. Sumit Ahuja wants to hear a few lines of Paimana.
Okay. All right, Sumit, this is for you. پیمانه بده که خمارستم پیمانه بده که خمارستم من عاشق چشم مست یارستم من عاشق چشم مست یارستم بده که خمارستم پیمانه بده که خمارستم چشمت که باهو خودن میماند رویت با گلاب های چمن میماند بر رو بکنید ورق بوی کنید بالا لزار بی وطن میآید پیمانه بده که خمارستم پیمانه بده که خمارستم من عاشق چشم مست یارستم من عاشق چشم مست یارستم بده وای بده وای بده که خمارستم پیمانه بده که خمارستم.
वाह भाई, बहुत खूब, बहुत ही प्यारा. Thank you so much. Listen, did you ever go to perform in Bangladesh? Because you have a very fond audience in Bangladesh too.
Yeah, I don't know, somehow like the visas for, I haven't been able to have much luck with visas in Bangladesh. So I hope whenever that, it becomes more, it's easier to get to Bangladesh. I would love to go there. I mean, I've always had so much love and I follow so many artists on there.
Yeah, so. Amazing audience and the sense of classical music that they have is absolutely monstrously beautiful.
Khatarnak audience, khatarnak.
Amazing, honestly. Very generous too. But did you ever try to sing in Bangla? Yeah.
I haven't, but you know what I recently discovered is that all the songs that are my favorite songs from Bollywood are actually Bangla songs.
Yeah.
So, so many songs. I could sing you one of those songs. The old Rafi songs, my favorite Rafi song, which is Hum Bekhudi Mein Tumko Pukare Chale Gaye. That's actually a Bangla song. So it seems like I've always had this like affinity towards that aesthetic and that particular musicality. Yeah.
Absolutely. I have a few questions for you, which I'm going to do with I love this guy, Noel Clarke, and he does this very interesting way of asking questions. But also on Monday, I'll be talking to Sain Zahoor. So yeah. So Sain Ji was our headliner for 2011, and he came here and he was absolutely spectacular. So we will start thinking about a question that you think we should ask Sain Ji, which would be from you, because that's what we are going to do at the end of every program. We ask our artist to suggest a question for our next artist, and we will ask that from him. So think about it. I'll ask you this question again before we close the program. Okay. But for now, there are a few questions. Give me a word, one word or two words that come to your mind when I say these words.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Seaside.
Seaside. It's heaven and my happy place.
All right. Lockdown.
Lockdown, reflection, self-reflection, and I think, I think I would say self-reflection.
Traveling.
Traveling is like exploration, discovery.
Okay. Board games.
Board games. Family time.
Good. They're back in fashion. Apparently Walmart ran out of all board games and everything.
We actually ordered a couple of board games and some these great puzzles and all, and they still haven't arrived. It's been like 2 months and I'm like, still.
All right. A.R. Rahman.
I would say musically blessed, a blessed soul.
How was it working with him?
It was really nice. I mean, I only met him. So the recording of the song happened over a few, trips to Bombay. But I only met him the first trip because then he was in LA. So it was, I saw him in like his car in LA and his space in LA. But like, it was lovely. And I think he is a true musician because, there isn't much like pomp and things around it. It's just, he was just really humble, really warm. And he was talking to us about our songs. Like that never happens. You meet a big music director or whatever. They're telling you that they're never going to address your work like that. Yeah. So he was like telling us what he liked about our work, his ideas about us. It was so sweet. It was lovely. Lovely human being.
Amazing. Yeah, I absolutely adore this man. He's so down to earth, and he has time for everybody. Okay. So we move on to another question, which is now very current as well. And we see that happening with this Turkish actress, her new pictures come up, which she's posted on her personal Instagram, and she's on in the sea, and I think she's surfboarding, and the Pakistanis are going to have a field day on that. So what do you think? How's your audience? How do you deal with the fan hysteria? How do you deal with, do you ever face bullying by fans and all? It's a very important thing current.
Yeah, I think that kind of bullying happens more when it's bound to happen. I mean, especially when you are going to be an artist that is relevant across, cross sections of society, across like religious lines, across nationalistic lines. So wo hota hai. Matlab, I don't think I've ever gotten much bullying, but yeah, I mean, sometimes I get in the middle of an ethnic war, like Paimana mein, I remember, the Afghans, Indians, and Pakistanis were fighting. If I do a Kashmiri song, there are people fighting. If I do a Punjabi song, there are people fighting. Like, people are saying, so I mean, I get caught up in that idea, but I think it's all part and parcel. What I think people don't understand, because I know Turkey very well, I've lived there, and for us in Pakistan, our sense of what it means to be Muslim and whatever is a very specific way. Culturally, for other parts of the world, it's very different, and we don't like to accept that, because our thing is no, but actually culturally har cheez mein there are certain differences and certain ways in which people according to the place, their own histories, their own political histories, they have their experience of a certain religion is very different. So हमें ऐसा, और फिर ये भी है कि हर एक की अपनी एक पर्सनल चॉइस होती है. We think that someone, if they're from a background similar to ours, that they must act exactly like us. But to be honest, like even our first cousins are not exactly like us. Our own siblings are not exactly like us. So, but I think because we feel so close to, celebrities, we feel like जो हमें पसंद है वो उनको पसंद आना चाहिए, जो हमें सही लगता है वो उनको सही लगना चाहिए. And Netturul, because it deals with, I think, a very well-known character of Islamic history, people are taking it very personally. They feel like even the actors should uphold certain, values and all. But they're just acting. They just make in a role.
They're very passionate people.
Very, very passionate. Very passionate.
So you were talking about this Bangla song. You going to sing it in Bangla, or you going to sing it in the Indian Hindi version of it?
I can't sing it in Bangla, because another thing I know about Bangla people, people who speak Bangla, much like people who speak Pashto, is that they love it if you care about their language, but they hate it if you have even one thing wrong. So Pathans are very similar, they want you to take an interest in their culture, but they want कि एक लफ्ज़ बिल्कुल सही हो. तो इस वजह से until I can have a proper tutor in this language, I will not sing it in that, but I can sing, if you're okay with it, I'll sing the Hindi version of it.
Please, absolutely. So,
okay. Okay. That's okay? चले गए हम बेखुदी में तुमको पुकारे, चले गए हम बेखुदी में तुमको पुकारे, चले गए सागर में जिंदगी को उतारे, चले गए हम बेखुदी में तुमको पुकारे, चले गए सागर में जिंदगी को उतारे, चले गए हम. देखा कि तुम्हें हम बन के दीवाना बन के दीवाना उतरा जो नशा तो हमने ये जाना सारे वो जिंदगी के सारे चले गए हम बेखुदी में तुमको पुकारे चले गए
बहुत खूब भाई, it's beautiful, so stunning. Ajay Gupta ji is here, and namaste Ajay ji, thank you so much for joining us. He's a very big fan of yours. It's so Mia ji ko kitna shauq hai? How much he like? Does he enjoy? Does he has requests? Does he ever ask you, Zaib?
Oh my God! Yeah, he's a doctor by profession, but he really has, जो है ना एक, he's got a true music critic soul, and he's I think part of why I also really was impressed by him was that he's a true music fan. So देसियों में in South Asia we love our artists, but we don't support them in the same way that they are supported in the West by fans. But I have to say that he plays the guitar also. He has a nice voice, and he has a very eclectic taste in music. He's very discerning about what he likes, and so it's been really lovely also seeing that he really goes out of his way. He'll be working the whole day, but he'll make sure he goes to that concert if his favorite band is in town. And
right.
So it's been nice actually. A musical with this relationship, I've also grown musically because I've started listening to stuff. He listens to a lot of indie music, which I never did before. So I've kind of
what band is he into?
He loves this Australian band called Hiatus Coyote. So that's his favorite band in the whole world. So वो मैंने बहुत सुना है इनके साथ. Then he loves Tame Impala. He loves he loves a lot of, which I'm trying very hard to get into, but he likes a lot of like this hard, heavier, progressive metal like Tool and all. So
yeah.
And then, so he likes a lot of, but then he also listens to a lot of Malka Pukhraj. He listens to a lot of Sajjad Ali. He loves Sandara. That's how we got together. I met at the Sandara concert.
All right.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, we are getting all these things out. But tell me, how was his reaction when you started working with different directors and filmmakers started giving music for the film? Arshad Khan is extremely curious to know about that, and I think that is a very well placed question because film industry is something we have a different attitude towards.
So I was already, because we just got together, we got married pretty much, within like 6 months of meeting each other, or a year of meeting each other. And the thing is that he already knew that do you think are you asking about my response or his response, my husband's response?
Your response really, going into films and all that.
So the film industry is definitely, it's a very different situation because it's a different process. And because, you are not just asked, okay, here is a situation and do something on it. You have to bring yourself and be as close and as authentic to your voice. But at the same time, you have to be very open to, and you have to be constantly listening to what the director wants, what the script is wanting in that moment. Sometimes you might make a tune that would, sound better in a kind of a more a sparse kind of an arrangement, but because it's coming in a film in a certain kind of a space, you have to really adapt it, and you have to think about it in a different way. But that doesn't always mean that it's a it's a bad thing, because you can also discover the beauty of a song in two different ways. Like this happened with Baji, because Saqib wanted us to reimagine an old classic, but he wanted us to make a completely new song. So we took the main lyrical line of this song, Guddi Vango, and we created a completely different new song, which was very traditional. And then he said, no, but now I want you to make a singer-songwriter version of it. And actually, ultimately, like, I like the singer-songwriter version of it, which is called Badlan, as much, if not more, than the original, which we started with. So it can also lead to like interesting kind of, discoveries and experimentation.
I love that song, and I didn't know that you sang it. Let's have a few lines.
Yeah, we made
we did the North American premiere of Baji at our film festival, and it was such an amazing thing. And when Badlan came, we all wanted to get up and dance because it's such a lovely, lovely song.
Thank you. Yeah, and that again was written by Shakil Suhail Saab.
Okay. So, God rest his soul. Oh my God, such an amazing talent. Okay, so are you going to sing me a few lines of Badla?
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
बदलते अच मैनू गुड्डी वांगू सजना उड़ाई जा उड़ाई जा उड़ाई जा बदलते अच मैनू गुड्डी वांगू सजना उड़ाई जा उड़ाई जा उड़ाई जा लेके मेरा दिल मैनू अपनी पढ़ाई जा पढ़ाई जा पढ़ाई जा पढ़ाई जा मुड़ा भी मैं तेनू ते तू बाज नहीं आंदा ए तेरिया मैं तेरे कोलों दूर किथे जाना तू प्यार वाली दुनिया खाई जा बदला 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 दिल बैरी होया प्यार दा जिंद से ते कुर्बान असी टुर पे अपनी मौज ते ओ सब रस्मां तो अनजान नैना उत्ते नैना वाले तीर तू सजाए चलाई जा चलाई जा चलाई जा लेके मेरा दिल मैनू अपनी बढ़ाई जा बढ़ाई जा बढ़ाई जा बढ़ाई जा दसना है तेनू जेड़ा दिल दा फसाना है हाँ दसना है तेनू जेड़ा दिल दा फसाना है मसला है दिल वाला अज समझाना है तू पावे मैनू रज के सताई जा बदला 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 बदला
Oh, beautiful. So lovely. Thank you so much, Zaib. This is such an exciting time for me listening to your beautiful voice. Tell me something. How is it now that you've moved to this new location? How do you find life there? Do you find artistic activity there? Do you think that this is the place where you settling down and making new music and getting things moving at your end?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that, one thing that the lockdown has done for me is that it's made me a lot more kind of focused on the present. And so, I mean, I loved it there. I loved, living in Durham, North Carolina. But I also, I do I mean, Baltimore is such a, bustling city, and it's got such a buzz, an artistic buzz here. There's so many different kinds of people. There's a great art, creative and performing arts, legacy here, and we have art schools, we have performance centers, we have the Peabody Museum. We have so many things that are happening here. So both on an institutional level, but also I feel just like the soul of this city is brimming with like creative expression, with art, and I'm very excited to experience it. And let's see what happens. Like we'll see.
Yeah. So tell me, any idea about the Berklee College of Music? Did you visit that place? Do you know anything about that?
I've never been to, actually, the Berklee College of Music.
The headliners last year, and they were absolutely phenomenal. And I really think, are a few artists, especially like yourself. Ali Sethi is also in US, and so you guys, and you've worked with Ali.
Yes, we're actually. We're siblings, Ustad siblings. So we're learning from the same Ustad, yes.
Okay. Farida Khanam?
Ustad Nasiruddin Saab.
Nasiruddin Saab. Okay. How lovely. Okay. So तुम तो वैसे भी बहन भाई हो गए हो.
जी वैसे बहन भाई.
Okay. So this is so lovely. But before we go, I asked you any message for Sain Zahoor.
I'd like to hear him, his thoughts on Alam Lohar Saab. I've been listening so much to him, and if he could maybe sing us something from Alam Lohar Saab.
Okay. All right. I will definitely ask this question from you to Sain Zahoor. And thank you so much, Zaib, for being part of TD Mosaic Noon Talks.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure always, and I hope to see you once the things get to normal, and for next year when we plan our Mosaic stage. We hope to see you there, and also Michael Feinstein. So please give my regards to him, and thank you very much.
Thank you all, and thank you all, everyone who tuned in today. Thank you.
Thank you, love. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of TD Mosaic Noon Talks. Our guest today was amazing Zaib Bangash. And next time, on next Monday, I have Sain Zahoor joining us off on Facebook Live. Please join us for that. And then for Canada Day celebration, which we are going to do on 2nd of July, we will have amazing Ali Sethi with us. So please tune in on those dates, join our Facebook page so that you are updated with all the latest information. And we look forward to seeing all of you with us for TD Mosaic Noon Talks. Thank you very much. Signing off.